And when there are people around us that may be different, that may look different, dress different, or act different, what should we do with those people?
Tennessee just became the first state to pass legislation restricting drag performances. Several other states have introduced similar bills. Most of them focused on classifying drag as adult entertainment and making sure kids can't see it.
You shouldn't be simulating sex acts in front of children.
But is all drag only meant for adults?
People automatically assume when you do drag that you are this like R-rated caricature, and it's not the case normally.
It's just for dances, for costumes, and just everything else. I just love it.
Mama Ashley Rose has been doing drag for over 20 years. Today, they're putting on a family-friendly drag brunch in Lakeland, Florida, through their nonprofit, Rose Dynasty.
Mama derived just because I've always been kind of the mother of the group, feeding them, giving them a safe space. Ashley was a friend of mine's middle name, and I was like, I always liked that name. And then Rose, I mean, who doesn't like roses? So it just kind of flowed. I'm a lady-ish. Rose Dynasty, we started, it is a family-friendly organization where we mentor LGBTQ plus youth and families.
Oh, this purple looks so good. I love it.
And we raise money for charities and nonprofits across the state and wherever we're able to. So we spread the message that everyone is loved, accepted, and wanted no matter who they are.
My goal is to raise enough money for at least 4 scholarships today.
We started doing our monthly drag brunch, and we've raised thousands of dollars for charities over the years, along with a weekly drag queen bingo. Then all of our events are safe and family friendly and accessible for all people.
The one who made this all possible, the incomparable Mama Ashley Rose.
People don't understand the differences between the club scene or the adult scene of drag. We know that there are adult movies and there are children movies. There's adult music and there's children music. Mainstream drag, as I call it, it is done in the clubs, it's done in the bars. It's an adult venue, so kids aren't going to be there. So they're going to do things that are adult-like, right? They're going to have cussing and maybe songs with, sex words and sex innuendo in it, to where what we do is our songs are safe. There's no cussing, there's no sexualization, there's no sex talk in it. Our costumes are family friendly, and I know that's a big question mark for a lot of people right now. How do we know it's safe? Come.
Kids, all kids, come on up. Let's come on up and have a seat down here.
We definitely have been very lucky for people to come in and leave. As we used to say in church days, come in and leave changed.
A heart is always perfect as long as it's kind.
I grew up in a religious family. I was a youth pastor, I was a worship pastor, I did ministry pretty much my whole life from a child on. And I knew I was gay. I knew who I was, and it was a struggle because the religion, the organization that I was part of obviously did not accept who I was. I felt not good enough, and no matter what I did, I wasn't going to be good enough for God. I wasn't going to be good enough for these people. And when I got older and finally came to terms in balancing who I was, I knew that there needed to be a safe space. And I knew that me, not only as a gay male, but also straight people or anybody, have gone through their life and have not felt loved. They've not felt accepted. They've not felt wanted. And, back to what you're asking is like, what made me do this? It wasn't for me. I didn't have this as a child. And I know that there's people waking up every morning that don't feel that, and that this is a message that we need to give to people.
Do you remember what we say here at Rose Dynasty? What do we say? That you're what? You're loved, accepted, and wanted. Exactly.
Our next performer is one of my drag kids. Make welcome, Mr. Aphrodite!
Mr. Aphrodite, or Adam as he's known out of drag, is 19. He joined Rose Dynasty's teen youth group about 4 years ago.
I honestly view myself as a success story of Rose Dynasty. It harbored my creativity, it gave me a safe space to express myself and really work on myself. It gave me the confidence to do what I do today, and I want other youth to see that. I want people who are going through the same struggles that I'm going through, or that I went through. I want them to know that it's okay to be different, and there will always be a place for you to explore who you are without judgment. That's what they gave to me, and that's what I want to give to the next generation.
Give her a round of applause.
But Rose Dynasty came under attack when a neo-Nazi group showed up to protest an arts event they were hosting last December.
You imagine what you imagine Nazi Germany at that time would have been like is what we experienced. The Hail Hitler and the hate speech, and it was so sad and it was scary.
Jessica and her 8-year-old daughter Maddie were on their way to perform at the event when they ran into the group.
I was scared. I think at least my reaction made her scared, and I think seeing the people and the masks on and the hats on and the, just the hate and the anger was a lot.
Maddie, how did that make you feel?
Last year, there were at least 141 protests and threats targeting drag events across the country, according to GLAAD. Since that December event, Mama says they've had to beef up security, keeping doors locked, hiring an off-duty police officer, and scheduling active shooter training for volunteers.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to know that these kids have to have a concern, that I've got teenagers that are scared to come to events because they're afraid. I shouldn't have to be concerned of our children being scared and our children being safe. They're the ones creating hate. They're the ones grooming people to hate. They're screaming, calling us pedophiles. We're not pedophiles. Calling us groomers. Screaming at children and families as they're walking and videotaping and screaming children and families are walking to events, calling children pedophiles, calling children names, screaming at them. Like, they're the ones that are doing this. We're just creating a safe space. We're raising money for people in need. We're raising money for homeless shelters, for food pantries, for animal shelters. We're raising money for our community or for our people, and they are the ones that are causing that fear and that torment. And it is such a sad, sad, sad experience.
While they've been preparing for physical threats, potential legislative threats like drag bans pose a different challenge.
How would it affect us? I don't really know the answer, but what happens inside when I say that is, again, I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight back. If we have to get lawyers, if I have to stand on a street corner, I don't know. I don't know what I would do, except I'm not stopping. I'm not gonna let the hate win. I do know that we will evolve and make sure that we can continue to do what we're doing, continue to spread the message of love and acceptance. And if I have to do it outside of drag, I'm still gonna spread this message.
I love you all. You ready for some more drag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all can go back to your seats now. We'll get some more drag shows going on.